back to our next series of videos. It's been a while since we've done anything, and our wood turning club has undertaken a program called Beads of Courage, which is a process of providing small containers to children who are compromised through various medical reasons. They get small beads for each of the procedures they go through, and these bowls provide them a way to retain those. So what we're going to do is be making a bunch of those, which we donate to the hospitals, and they then give them to the kids. They seem to really like it. So I'm going to do a series. And the first one we're going to do is going to be a very simple bowl. I have a couple of maple blanks here I pulled out of our stock. This will be the body. Part of this, much bigger than I need, will be the lid. And I found this piece of Wenge, which cut down to the right size will probably be the finial or the handle to pull it out. There's some requirements for these, and if you're interested in participating in that, go to the BayAreaWoodturners.org and look up the requirements for what is the size, shape, materials, and so on. So I'm going to put these away. Start with just the body, and I'm going to use a larger chuck with larger jaws, because the tenon of this is going to actually become the base of the box. I don't have to waste any wood. So I'm going to make a very large tenon and then hollow this out. It's going to be sort of an apple shape, so it'll close in just a little bit at the top. So that makes hollowing it out a little bit more difficult than a normal bowl. But we'll do the body, and then we'll do the lid, and then we will do the finial. And we'll need to complete these pieces, so I'll probably be using a vacuum chuck to turn the reverse sides of these. So let's get started. First thing I need to do is to get this up between centers, mark out and turn my tenon. So let's bring this up, clear the decks, and we have all the normal paraphernalia for measuring and so on, which we'll be using. So into place. And all I'm going to do now is literally mark out the tenon. Yeah, well, I didn't get it perfectly centered. Well, that'll all go away with time. I might just go ahead and flatten this and true up this edge while I'm between centers, and then go on to the next step. So let me true it up, then mark out the tenon. Everything tight. I'm going to have to keep raising this to talk to you, but if I talk through it, you'll hardly understand me, so I'll try to avoid that. That was the spur drive slipping in the headstock. So that means I need more pressure. And that's okay, because this is round enough. We'll flatten this end here now and add our tenon. Not much of a cut, but it's necessary. So now we can put this in a chuck. Take out our spur drive. Mount our 4-jaw chuck with the larger jaws. Had to go find a key. These one-way chucks, the small ones and the large ones, take different keys. If you use the wrong one, you work at it too hard. Nice and tight. Got it. Okay. Now, while we're still bringing up true, I'm still going to add the tailstock for a little bit more support. And we're going to start thinking of our shape. It's going to curve around a little bit. Fattest portion will be just about here, I think. Just kind of visualizing how that's going to finish up down inside of that tenon. So I'm doing this here to keep from hurting my tool. I'll clean up the shape just a little bit. Now, I can start hollowing this like a bowl. Or taking out some extra mass with the Forstner bit. Let's give that a try. See how that works out. Ooh, that's interesting. I went out too far. Let's see if I can take out some of the mass this way. Certainly slower. That's a lot of work, and not necessary, but in some way you can take out some mass. Let me get this out of the way because it's hot and I'll run into it otherwise. It's a lot easier to do it with a gouge. Large bowl gouge, a little smaller one for later on. And I want to be just about center line. And I want this totally out of my way. Clear the decks. that's telling me is this tool is beginning to bounce in here, and probably a set of hollowing tools would be the more appropriate tool to finish this off with, because I have to go back up underneath here, and this will have to come in more. So I'm going to go stop, go get a couple of hollowing tools, and be right back. I went and bought a couple of hollowing tools. This one is angled, which will cut just fine. Long, heavy handle, ones that have been used in some of our hollowing classes. This one I made years ago. It's in the David Ellsworth style. A little shorter cutter, and we'll see which one works better. The idea is we need to cut at center line. This is sort of like doing a hollow vessel. I probably want to be just a smidge higher. And we'll try the long-handled one first, see what happens. So we have a dull cutter. So go into my pocket, rescue my diamond hone, and put an edge back on this again. Just stroking up the edge. Leave that out here, I'm going to need it again. So I'm just coming back up underneath here. This is not working, it's a bigger cutter. It's hard to control. For me. Yeah, roughly down to about here. Now, we're just to the bottom of the Forstner bit, which was right about there. So we got a long way to go yet. See if I can get this turned inside. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Allow me to get a little closer to the work. Maybe reduce some of the vibration. Unlike hollow vessels of smaller openings, I can get my tool out of here without banging it pretty easily. There's a ridge right there that needs to go away before I go any further. So I'm going to go find it by sliding the tool down. There it is. All right, I'm looking to go. Okay, now I've got to go deeper. Feeling pretty good up to here, and it's still getting thicker. I'm still right about here trying to come on down. I went back to the supply and got another scraper, one whose blade is perfectly straight rather than angled out, because my need is to get more mass off of the exact bottom. So this will allow me to go straight in here and clean up that bottom. Well, get it started cleaning up. Got a little bit of wood out of there. So let's see if we can use a scraper in here now to get across that bottom. Put this away for a second. So the box scraper might work. What I've been working at is taking the little mountain out of the center. If you miss the center at all, you'll cut above or below it. And that leaves a little mountain in there, and it's almost impossible to get a round tool on a round spot. I've got most of it, but what you do is you feel for it, then get down underneath, come up like this until you get it flat, and then that makes it a little easier. Shape's still a little thick down here, but we're getting real close. We're getting closer. And when I look in there, it looks okay. So I've got to go back to that little spot again. There it is. I can feel it. little mountain in the middle again. Well, that spot's gone, that's good. Now right here there's a couple of ridges that need to be smoothed out. They're just not nice. It's acceptable, but I could do better. So now I'm going to do is find that spot. And make it go away. Nice to have a big opening. Makes it easier to get the chips out and to get my hand in. That's pretty smooth. Now there's that little mountain right in the middle, still there. So I gotta go make him go away. So let's go find him. Right there, right there. Well, that feels good. I'll just stop on my head. I think I will. So now this needs to come down a little bit more, and we need to finish shaping up the top edge. So I'll put that away. Go to our bowl scraper, back to our bowl scraper again. Okay. So now what we got to do is bring this down a little bit more and reverse it to do the bottom of the foot. So I'm going to take this down a little bit more here, and then I'm going to take it out of this chuck and go to another folding means. Don't think it makes any difference. Nope. Still about an inch thick, and that really ought to go down some more, which I'll do later off camera. But let's finish off the base here a little bit. I'm going to reverse this into, I think I can do it in the other chuck. Let's see what we can do without doing vacuum chucking. See where we are. And let's try this. I went and got another one of these chucks, but with a different set of jaws, a little smaller. So my intention is to put the bowl here, expand the jaws loosely for a minute, and then I'm going to bring the tailstock up for additional support right into that little spot. And I put the cone on here because what that'll do is give me maximum access. So I'm tightening it just the slightest bit. So there's my drive. Here's my hold. And now I can go back and finish. Okay. Running really true. And these cuts are going to be light because I don't want it to slip. Remaining a little bit of sanding, and we're going to have to fit a lid, but we'll do that in part 2. So if you're interested in the Beat of Courage, continue going to the Bay Area Woodturners website, look up the instructions for how to do it and who to contact to deliver your product. We will make the contact with the hospitals and deliver them for you. So this is the first of series that we're going to be doing. The more work than I thought, but this maple was hard, and once we get it sanded out and a couple of coats of urethane oil finish on it, it's going to be food safe and perfect for some child. See you in part 2.